thing. Got it. Live stream. Record. Let me double check. Okay. Travis Beijing. Oh, it's being weird. All right. It seems like we're live. Oh, yes. Oh my God, Travis Beijing. We are live for the first time on Travis Beijing Unfiltered. Aren't this exciting? Leona, tell people how far it took from us to get here.
What it's amazing. I can tell you, arm wrestling community, as you well know, well, maybe you don't know, but I have been the biggest personality champ in the history of our sport. My name is Travis Bagent, for those for you new guys. And my entire journey, these weirdo camera guys would always roll up on me and say, we need to do a podcast. So I waited until the weirdest dude ever rolled up. And here we are, the first ever Travis Bagent Unfiltered podcast with my man Artem. All I can tell the community is you are welcome.
Yes, I got so excited for the first episode. Yesterday, God got me a good fade. You know what I mean? Like, we're looking good, looking fresh. So, I'm excited. It's a good day.
As you can tell, I've cleaned up the entire studio here at the Bagent Mansion so that now we are equipped to do podcasts, 2 podcasts a day for the rest of me and Artem's life.
Awesome.
14 shows a week.
Awesome, because we only have like 2 weeks left until Tyson gets drafted, and then that's it.
Speaking of Tyson Beijing, right there in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, is a Panini Senior Bowl trading card, all protected, brand new, and signed. You see the signature? Signed by Tyson Beijing. We are selling these on pullingfortherams.com. Pulling for the Rams. Put that in the comments. Artem. You said you were going to do all the technical support too for the show. Pullingfortherams.com, and you can buy your Tyson Beijing trading card. We only got like 100 of them, so hurry your asses up.
Our show is so advanced. We have moderators to do it for us, actually. So there should be
Devin Larrett, Ingen Terzi, among the few. Dustin Laughlin, Steve Swartz, / the singing arm wrestler Steve Black. Every one of those guys have already purchased the Panini card of Tyson Beijing. This card is going to be worth a shitload of money one day, Artem. And speaking of money,
what you got?
The NFL draft is next week.
Oh, it's next week. Oh man, so we only can do 14 episodes.
April 27th, 28th, and 29th. We are
so are you
excited.
Does it mean you're not even going to watch me beating Pablo?
I will not be watching that at all. I already told you. How did that do? Did my prediction? I saw it around Facebook. Did it spark any reactions?
Oh, people say it's the most hilarious video on the internet so far.
They love you, right? So they probably are defending you, right? Like, Travis is crazy. You'll kill Pablo.
No. They're mostly comments like, "Oh man, Artem gonna get murdered." So I'm like, "Oh, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good."
Yeah. Well, how do you feel? You think you got a chance?
Oh, I feel like I have the best chance out of everybody that pulled Pablo so far. I bet it should look good. The worst case scenario, I get that one early win, and then my army gets so fucking blown up, I'm blowing the rest of it. But I feel like once I get that stop, like we good. I feel like I can look good for like match or two. And the best case, um, in the best case, like if everything works out, and knowing that Pablo have to pull round two, he will probably not going to fight me as hard either once it really stops. So I think I got that chance. So what if I get it as fast as I can? I think I'm feeling good. I feel like my weight is up there.
Well,
If
I want to apologize for saying that you had like a 2% chance. I would like to change my prediction. You have 0% chance.
man,
0% chance of beating Pablo. My goodness. The good thing is, though, you will wreck the 200 pounders when you come back to life.
well, that's actually the whole another thing. The person who's gonna eat it most will be Paul Talbot because I'm pulling Pablo right now, right? And then next month, I'm pulling Todd Hutchings at Todd Hutchings mansion for his birthday, right? Then like months from that, I'm pulling Ryan Bowen and he's another super heavy body in Australia. And then at the end of it, I'm back to pulling Polo 200. So I'm gonna rack up this bunch of like super dudes in 240, and yeah, I think Paul gonna get the worst out of me.
Yeah, yeah. The
Unless
problem
even
is, the problem is Paul's a bad dude too, who you beat last time.
yeah, but see, I feel like also once I beat Pablo and I beat a couple other dudes, I feel like Paul will get COVID or something.
Oh man, I can't be a part of this show if you're
Uh,
going to be disrespecting our national heroes. Oh my goodness. Not the tough man flu.
oh, come on.
Oh,
Look at the rankings. I'm the national hero now.
yeah. Well, you know what the truth is? I mean, if you do run through those other guys, I'm not fucking with you if I'm Paul.
Right.
Sheesh.
Or, I
Yeah.
mean, you'd listen, like, you'd be like, oh, man, I should have started training like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I hope that Paul doesn't cancel the match because you're 0-4. And he's like, dude, I'm getting no love by Whack and Arno.
Man.
Ah,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I guess I have to play
So you
that.
said people were going crazy. What happened? What's going
Oh,
on?
man, I would like to start off the show with with a great apology to one Corey Miller. Because supposedly I lied on this last show, Travis. Can you believe that? And that's
Yes. Everything that we say on this show has an underlying falsehood to it. Yes, I believe it.
right. So I guess I would like to also take a step back and point out that you may be a weirdo for taking certain things too seriously on this show. But regardless, I guess I did lie. In the conversation about AJ Henson, I've said that Corey proposed an offer. Meanwhile, it was a mistake. What I thought was an offer was just a message. There was not even an offer, which I thought made my case even better. That's why we named AJ not pulling. But however, I think it was important for Corey to point out that there was no offer, and I cut him off too soon. See, I went all Travis Beijing to him, like, yo, I'm not really interested in pulling AJ on the well. Be interested if it's like 2,500. Fuck, I'm gonna lie again. It will be $5,000 and travel for me to be interested in pulling AJ. However, I understand we're not at the point where anybody will look at me and pay this type of money. What, are you fucking crazy? So I understand we're not there. So we're good. And I guess Corey took it as me cutting him off completely, and that was the end of the conversation.
Well, yeah. If I walk into the used car lot and you tell me the car is $100,000, the conversation is over.
Right, right. But and I'm also telling you, like, I understand if you ain't got this 100,000, you know, I understand it. We're good, right? Like,
Yeah.
so, like, you're not there. I know the offer is crazy, so we're good. So, but anyway, there was never an offer, so I apologize for misleading everybody. And however, Corey did finish the conversation with like, listen, man, I don't really care about the match. Which I want to point out that he did spend a lot of super chat talking about the match the last show. So yeah, but
Yeah,
And
you and him will lock up anyway, just in life. So it'll be good. You and AJ. And here's the thing: when you and AJ get up there, it's gonna mean a little more to AJ.
right,
So
for
in
sure.
AJ's camp, you that little camera guy who's too big for his britches.
Right. Right.
We'll teach his ass here in Wyoming. We just got our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm just like, who the fuck is this number one guy? Like,
That probably cost them $30, all the wires they've been running to be able to watch this show.
Yeah, I bet you if there's like, I don't know how can I see AJ, right? Like somewhere neutral, because like, it's got to be some big tournament where everybody goes to type thing, right? Because
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
You'll make it happen. You make it
Well,
happen.
it has to be. The next big thing that happens in the United States should be a conglomerate of pullers that are interested in rekindling what arm wrestling used to be, which was 400 dudes from all across the country meeting and, and seeing who the man is and having just a whole fun tournament. It's too recent in our memories as to what the WAL looked like when you had to go out there just for your region.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's too fresh in our minds to know that that's the best. Or maybe not the best, but that's a good weekend.
Right. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need one or two of those a year, in my opinion, and that's what I'll be working towards if
it's
given
like, honestly,
any.
that for some people that was so long ago they didn't even got to see that. There's so many new dudes that like, oh, like that's not always been like they have 10 super matches every 3 months. Like, no, motherfucker, you used to beg for one big tournament a year, and then somebody will pull out and make a super card to launder his money real quick. You know what I mean? Like, ain't that something? So yeah, I'm all about it with you. Yeah, we need and listen, me and Tim Talmash had this conversation because he has a budget for Arizona State, right? And he wanted to throw it around the classes, how to make it, how to turn into a big tournament. And I had that theory. I want to see where you're at with me, because you also had this, you have a certain perception how to split the money between the classes, which I told Tim, like, listen, if you have 10,000, I feel like you split it between number one guys, maybe only right hand if you're so limited with money. If you have a lot of money, fucking go in. But if you only have so much, do it on the right hand or do it on the left and right first places, fat checks, some like $1,000 each. And if you have any money left, yeah, go ahead, do it for the second places. But I feel like
$10,000 is a lot of money.
I know that's what I'm saying.
That almost does nothing.
Really?
It does nothing when you break it down in any traditional sense.
Okay, so what?
I mean, because listen,
let me finish.
$1,000 first place event, $1,000 first place event, 5 weight classes right-handed, 5 left-handed. The money's gone.
Right.
And then, depending on the geographical location, there's 4 guys that think they have the chance to win that $1,000. Then there's 8 guys that aren't coming because they can know that those other 4 guys are there, so they can't win. They can only win second place, and there ain't no money for second place. Now, once you start doing the 5-3-2 payout that you think is smart, nobody makes any money. Not one person makes any money except the one local guy who is able to win or place in both hands.
Maybe
and then he makes $42 after he bought everybody a beer.
Right.
Like, so you might as well just know that 10,000 is no thousand.
So might as well not.
Might as well not even have it. Now, what you should do now is take that money and create an award that means something, right? And then you just go ahead and pay good guys in each class to get them there to the event so that they don't lose much money. So if I've got 3 weight classes and one of them's the 165s, I use $1,000 to give Sam Harris and Luke Kent a ticket to my tournament in Dallas. And they all just fight for the Mountain Dew Cup. But $10,000 is nothing. It's crazy. Now, you could do a $10,000 super match between Devin and John and hope that then people come to watch. But it's crazy how much money you really need. You need about $50,000 to create a situation where, okay, I can get third place and make a few $100s after expenses.
See, because my logic was for 1,000 for the first place, that it will attract those big dudes that will come, and because they will come, the smaller guys will come also after them.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't think the big dudes come for $1,000.
Yeah,
I think that's the number that lets them know they could get beat and not get invited to Ingen to make 2,500.
Right, but see, like left and right, I'm thinking, majority it's 2 G's. I mean, I was thinking, you spend 1,000 on your travel, you still make.
What's the majority? Who do you think can win both hands these days? Is that prevalent?
Well, I feel like Justin Bishop is a guy that can go lightweight and do that. Middleweight, I feel like, Mosier is like, a lot of right-handed guys. I feel like they're right-handed.
Yeah, you just I feel like it's so easy to give a formula, but it's so hard to answer the questions.
I like your way, because it's basically you're achieving the same thing I wanted to achieve, and to bring bigger guys, except you guys giving them money to already come. And
and that's really, to me, there's a guy and there's 5 guys that want what that guy has from a perception standpoint. So what you got to find out is you can't bring the absolute ringer that makes all your locals and drivable arm wrestlers terrified. You bring in the guy that's far away, but they think they got something for his ass, and he's ranked higher than them. Right? All of a sudden, it's like, ooh, and the motherfuckers start calling you. I already know it because they start calling saying, hey, is Artem coming? Oh, okay, I owe that motherfucker. You be like, yeah, no problem, right? So you do that in each weight class. Now, it does suck because if you're in Texas and Dan Mosier calls you and says, hey, man, I'm willing to come if you give me the $500 stipend, I'm thinking, man, drive your weak ass over here 2 hours, man. I'm bringing in somebody from Florida. I'm bringing Austin Wade in because nobody wants to pull your ass, Daniel. But everybody on my team wants to pull Austin Wade because he's ranked 7th and they're ranked 13th.
Right.
So there's a strategy on how you can do everything, man. So I'm in that space. So to me, once we make it free for the arm wrestler or potentially free, we can start asking for favors as a promoter.
Right.
Once the person's already in their pocket and looking to cash in your prize money, you've got an adversary there. You got a guy that's demanding the operation is amazing, checking in on weigh-ins, wants to know what time the tournament starts. Once you get that man airfare and hotel, you tell him, shut the fuck up. I'll let you know what time we're getting started.
Right.
Now, this is all not literal, but it's just a promoting game. So as soon as someone gives me a prize money budget, only half of that money is going to prize money. The other half has to go to getting a couple guys there and to talk about it. Right.
I mean, get to your pocket, but all right.
Well, I've already taken that money before we started. Yeah. Hey, so East versus West, man, I'm getting a little more excited than I normally would.
Are you okay?
I feel like we've got a group of guys that this is like a real dream team, right? That we've created the West, right? We're the West.
We are.
So
Son. We are.
strange for an East Coast guy to say he's on the West team.
West
East
side.
Coast American, because to me, America is the world. The United States is the whole world, and I'm on the east side of it. But I guess I'm on Team West, or I'm not even on a team. I'm just a commentator. But I'm thinking about this scenario, right? I'm thinking about this scenario. We got Doug Ehrlich, right?
Right.
Who most likely has to win the same way he won last time.
You mean dominating?
He's got to get the guy's hand and win, because we know that the guy he's pulling will pull for 25 minutes, no problem. Every match you see Daniel in, he's in the worst position ever. And he is grinding out of that. The young, the educated Moldovan. So you know that.
You know that he's a surgeon, and he is actually his specialty is like forearm and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
none of that surprises me. I spent some time in Moldova, if you remember.
Oh, right.
And Daniel was Daniel was their guy then, and even now, I think he's the minister of sport. So he, we were dealing with.
I feel like he's the president
of the whole country.
He gotta be. The guy?
I believe he would be a good choice. So you got that match. So you know that either Doug's going to be once again the rudest, most like American champion you could be, right? I'm ready for more. Get me somebody up here. I want them, right? And then you got Paul Lynn, RVJ, Dave Chafee,
Brandon Ostesser,
which he's got a lot of heart too. That's going to be good too. So
Adam
we got all these guys. So to me, we are loaded.
And
right?
Cody Merritt.
And Cody Merritt, and then just put Devin on our team anyway too, right? He's on our team, right?
Right.
I mean, Devin's considered West, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So the fact is we are taking the fucking who's who, in my opinion, some bad dudes, right? There is no doubt about it, right? And then the less you know about the competition, the more you are on this American train, right? I mean, we can't lose, right? We got all the dudes, right? Yet, right before I go to sleep every night, I think about every one of them getting that ass whipped. Every one of them. I mean, I feel like Doug better not let that match stop. RBJ, I mean, let's be completely honest. He's in trouble, right? I mean, how in the world can you not arm wrestle for a longest period of time and then expect that when you get back, you are going to beat the dude who's having the wars with Ron Bath and John Brzezinski?
Yeah, and then goes to Russia and slaughters everybody under 200 pounds.
I mean, what are we talking about? RBJ has to be better than he has ever been. Ever. Paul Lynn is just walking into a nightmare.
Well, Paul has a good chance.
An absolute nightmare. Paul has not demonstrated any capacity when it comes to top rolling and taking the hand of a hooker. This guy has a game plan every time, and it gets just absolutely shattered. And then he goes straight defense. I'm just gonna see how strong, I can't manipulate this guy. And then ends up the first match being stronger than the guy, then ends up down 0-2, having the injury happen, which upgrades him to a just ridiculous hooker. A ridiculous hooker. So either Paul Lynn has stopped trying to take the hands and top roll and outside move, and he has dedicated his life to this hook. He is in trouble, right? Then you move up the ladder. Cody Merritt has to be too big for this guy. He has to be. If he's not, it starts to unravel. The left-handed world starts to recognize there is no weight class in left-handed arm wrestling. That's a lot of pressure. We have seen 75%. How many of these matches end up being heart, soul, and cardio?
I don't know, like half of them, maybe
50%. So first of all, 50% chance Cody runs out of gas. You better not make that match long, right? We saw the other kid. The kid pulled for 7 minutes at 100 miles per hour. Him and the other guy. It was crazy, right? Cody Merritt could go down, which would be devastating to left-handed arm wrestling in the United States. 220-pound guy whacking your ass. Come on, get out of here. This is terrible.
In a hook.
And then we got Devin.
Well, you don't have to go for Devin yet.
Then we got Dave Chafee.
No,
my goodness.
Oh, you go for Dave. David.
We know that Dave Chafee has to be careful. Why would we think that Rivas, after stopping Morozov and stopping Michael Todd, why would we think he wasn't going to stop Dave before match 3? Why would we assume that all of a sudden we're going to have some sort of energy? We've seen the guy strong in a hook. Strong. We've seen his ability to manipulate top roll, work angles. I don't see any way for Dave to get out of there without being gasping for air.
Or being a lot stronger, just a lot stronger. Because
how can he be a lot stronger if we just saw Rivas and Morozov 5 months ago?
Yeah, but what did Dave do last? Well, him and Vitaly were in a war, right? So, and then Dave.
Him and Vitaly. Then he lost to
Hermes, right?
Hermes, right? And then I feel like,
and you said Dave's now stuck in the permanent position.
Yeah, exactly. Dave needs to know that what he did with Vitaly was because of Vitaly's awkwardness and having to put his whole body underneath the table and not being able to stand up. But if you can stand up and get your feet underneath of you, Dave's bent wrist press is not going to truly be astonishing to a super heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's got it just completely overwhelming, which I believe he will the first match. We'll see it. Now, how many times does Dave's first match not end in anybody winning? Go back and check. A lot of times there's 3 starts before we get a victory. All of those things, it's like Dave is almost like Corey Miller, and he is trying to hide the fact that he does not have the cardio and the stamina to arm wrestle in these long wars, right after he's up, even up 2-0, dominating fashion. Dave is still letting the referee put him in a regular grip. You know what I mean? Instead of staying back in the couch, setting down, learning how to breathe, and knowing that you are only going to go crazy after you've established the set grip and the straps and all the stuff that I don't need to waste any energy on, because I have to appreciate the fact that the energy's low. right? And then we go, there's no one else, right?
There's 2 more matches, but I have to go for the super chat. 11 euros super chat for Fat Legless Bird. We should not forget Alijan Muradov is current reigning WoW super heavy champ on the left. Cody is in on. Either WoW means nothing on super, so Alijan is that guy. There's no doubt, like Alijan is that guy.
I'm just telling you that the last thing we need as an American sport is for our super heavyweight champ on a one-on-one competition to lose to a guy under 250.
Then we have David Samusha and Brandon Alcesser.
Yeah, I mean, I am super impressed with how much dedication and fight Brandon Alcesser has in him. We'll see whether that translates, at the world level. I think this will be the first time that he is at this level with this intensity against an opponent that he probably knows the least of.
Okay, and then we have Adam Wrzinski and Bacho Signashvili, Levon's cousin.
Yeah, which, I mean, listen, I told you this before. Adam has to show me that he is willing to arm wrestle in any other way except for him posing with you and draining all of your power, which is a great tactic if you're talking about the lower East Coast of the United States. Go ahead there, buddy. Wrap them up. Talk shit to them. Try to finish them and get stuck and think that translates overseas. I think that Adam is an intelligent person, and there's a chance that what think that I see is not all of him.
I mean, hold on. In all fairness, he did do it overseas out there already with Bojida, right?
Which is listen, you know what's the worst thing in the world for a 15% three-point shooter is? The worst thing for your team is for that guy to hit one. Because once he makes his first three-pointer, he's firing them all day. And we all have been playing with him forever. When I say that, I've been playing this arm wrestling game for a long time. The hook doesn't travel in Europe.
Okay. So you're saying
Listen,
there's got to be
show me your desperation outside move, and then perfect it before you apply for your visa or passport.
That's awesome. So you're saying basically somebody will eventually.
I'm saying a complete sweep for the East.
So those are two. We're done with those two. Now we can move to Devin and Gennady. What you got there?
Devin and Gennady. Listen,
what's up, Paul?
Everything must have changed for Devin to win this. Everything must have changed. Devin has to be a different person.
Well, you don't think he's got it easy?
Oh, man, I think that he is in the fight of his life because of the perception that he has changed.
Oh,
I think really? The best thing for him is when you don't want them to recognize the threat and have any fear, because all of a sudden the training is ramped up. The juice is ramped up. Gennady is going to be near death when it goes down. Every single bit of medicine, chicken sandwiches, I don't care what is fueling this person, he is doubling down. This is the biggest match of Gennady's life.
All right, so you're saying Devin done messed up and Gennady recognized that, and now Gennady is going all in.
Yeah, because Devin was riding. I mean, you've seen it, man. Like, you've seen Prudnick roll into that building so confident because of the perception and past.
Correct.
And then, boom, you run into that. And it's not that should have made Gennady that scared, but it just continues the legend of him getting bigger, getting stronger, healing up. The medicine's working, right? The VitaCell. You saw the video. The man is jacked. The man is jacked. So I don't know, man. I think it would have been better for Gennady to figure it out, not for Prudnik to lift the covers back.
I got you.
So I'm concerned. I'm concerned, Americans. I'm concerned, all of you. Listen, I'll hang with all of you until you compete on Saturday. But if all of you get whacked, I'm not coming to the after party. I will hang with the winner. I will hang if one of you wins. We will alienate ourselves from the crowd and go on about our business. But you are not allowed to hang with Artem or me if you don't win your Supermax.
Is this funny how you have to in East versus West to get to hang out with Tell Me I'm the Greatest podcast?
And we are accepting donations for VIP privileges.
Right.
If you want to sleep in Artem's room, you pay me $300 and I'll give you that VIP experience.
That will pay for like a weekend at a hotel. It's like $66.
Well, I had to pay for 2 vodka Red Bulls downstairs after they jacked them prices up.
Man, I was just telling my barber that yesterday what the difference that was and how I'm like, yo, Travis is an alcoholic. Why? Well, because he was telling me he doesn't want to drink my Jack and he fucking stole my vodka. And you like that.
I mean, you know what, man? I don't know, man. I think Ingen really set those Americans up this time.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have control of that, but man,
Ingen doesn't have control of it. He set the matches.
No, not the matches. I'm talking about the money and the alcohol and stuff.
Oh, nah. Ingen's cool with that. He's good with that.
The matches a thing. Yeah, man. You're making me concerned now, but I think Devin got it. I feel like Adam, I'm not sure because we're not sure about the Botcher guy, right? Brandon and David, and David is a beast, man. Like, I didn't know. Like, Paul being David, I look back at this match. I'm like, I think Paul got lucky there for a little bit. I didn't know. Like, it was close, right? Sorry, Paul.
Super close. Super close.
So I think Brandon could be in deep waters.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong, though, man. The thing about Brandon, I think Brandon's going hard, too.
He did. He is for sure. My problem is the weight cut.
And yeah, because he does look big. I didn't even think there was a weight problem. Well, I thought they could weigh whatever they wanted. What did they have to weigh?
I think it's like 187 or so, 190.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. The dude's like 230 right now.
Well, it's under 200, and Brandon works around 220. He's like 207 right now or some shit. He still looks 230, but you know what I mean? Like, and you still have to fly. Okay, so Paul Lynn says it's 194. Brandon is 208 right now. So
Brandon, it's just very simple. Like, and I mean, if Brandon and Paul Lynn were to arm wrestle at 200 pounds, that match is close. I mean, I think if they arm wrestle at any weight, the match is close. So, I mean, it just all depends on that loss, how that loss made David feel.
Well, clearly like a beast because he hasn't lost anything since.
Right, no doubt. I'm just saying, like, Paul Lynn beating that guy, make that guy like probably got beaten, whipped when he got home. You know how they do that shit. You know how they do that shit.
Come on, you were supposed to live with all the stipends.
You know how they do that shit over there, man. Artem, that's why you escaped. They was
Yeah,
beating your ass.
I wasn't made for that life. I had to be in South Florida, dog. I'm like, son, I wasn't made for winter. Come on, man. My hair growing out, painting my nails. I'm getting too beat up too often.
You'd be the world champ. You'd be the world champ over there right now.
Yeah, if it was that soft.
So yeah, that's an interesting match, man. And also too, whether I feel like Brandon Celso's got one of those, trying to attack you with all this technique, ultimately ending in a hook match. And it's just like Paul, to me, if you can't get someone's hand in the first match, don't try it again and go down 2-0 and then come back and win 3-2 and tell me you should not have just done it earlier.
I agree with you, but don't you ever feel like that feeling that you can overwhelm that hand by a couple attempts? You ever get to the feeling that hand gets cracked. So I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
You have to
switch, this is me telling you that I've done it a million times. Never was I able to go inside and grind it out. So I know what they're doing, but when I am watching, I'm like, listen, man, it's clear for me to see that you ain't great at it, right? You ain't great at it, especially today under this circumstances. Like, your first attempt to take the guy's hand ought to be your best attempt.
Yeah, for sure. It could not be a mistake.
It ought to get worse. So if it's already bad, I just find it hard to believe that you missed it. Like, you got one fucking job. How could you miss it?
Exactly.
Because you miss it?
Yeah, you cannot go in the second round thinking like, oh man, I just didn't do it properly. I need to try it again.
And then it's even worse. You see the second loss, you're like, oh my God. And you feel like they realize it too, right in the setup, and then there's not even an aggressive attempt. Right. And then to see them then in a war, the third match, makes me think you should have went there earlier. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, I just, so. I'm predicting that the entire squad gets that ass whipped, boy. And then that's the end of the East versus West. That's the end of it.
And, Paul Lynn says he'll do his best and he's feeling good.
Yeah, he looks huge. His back looks huge. Did you see that picture of him?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was a fucking moon landing or some shit.
I think that's Photoshop, yo.
Yeah, Paul's ready for the bodybuilding competition.
Paul, listen, if you're listening, don't work on anything except unbelievable rising, cheating, set grip. You are the champ. Act like it. Take, and then the match is going inside. You just better just acknowledge it. That's what's happening, and stand up tall and work that shit. Do not fall away from your hand and tell me, I missed it. No, it's going in the hook. Get your height. Get it up there and do not move. Just like the fullback fucking trap, the quarterback sneak, they're coming, you're playing linebacker. When they say hike, you meet them at the line. Everything you got.
Paul says, I will definitely make him uncomfortable. Okay, well, we better see that.
Well, you heard my prediction. All y'all getting y'all's ass whipped. England done set y'all up this time, boys. Woo!
And,
where's England at? Get him on the line here. We got to find out how he set these matches like this.
What do you think about Kidergali and Irakli?
Oh, man, that's my favorite match because all roads, all media leads to Irakli taking that John Brzenk win, which was so out of reach it looked. And then just going crazy at the gym. going crazy at the gym. Also, I can't stop thinking about how easy John's handled Ungarbayev in the first match. How he just got so much and he just curled him in, boom, right? And then starts the next match is like this, like a jackass. But if Irakli could somehow keep his hand positioning, I think Irakli's got more side pressure than Michael Todd and maybe as much or more side pressure than John Beijing. So I remember a month ago saying it was 55-45, 65-35. I made the remark that Ungarbayev is the favorite. However, I am starting, because of Facebook, to change my mind. And I believe Irakli may win, which is crazy because Ungarbayev is the favorite. If you wasn't friends with Irakli on Facebook, you're probably staying with Ungarbayev.
I got you. Okay, that's a very interesting assumption. There's a question. Ooh, Travis, we need to talk East versus West qualifier finals.
We do. You're correct. Well, I will give you some insight. Some insight on that. Paul Lynn, James Reed, Travis Bagent, Engin Terzi are all sharing our thoughts on finalizing in the next 72 hours every single thing that the American arm wrestler would need to know about the East versus West finals. So just be a little more patient. But we do have a location in Delaplane, Virginia. We're at Tommy Watson's Pub and Vineyard Winery, and it's absolutely perfect venue for arm wrestling with an arm wrestler being in charge. So it's going to be a great weekend. John Beijing, Devin Larrett, Gabby, Paul Lynn, Michelle Dugan. I believe that Ron Bath and his new Canadian wife will be there. Angie Rose Bath. That's what I'm going to start calling her. The Rose Bath.
The Rose Bath, dog.
Angie Rose Bath. Please report to the scores table. So, yeah. It's on. It is on. We are going to have a fabulous event on June 3rd, no doubt. So just bear with us about every single thing that will take place because we're going to do everything we can to have a 20-man bracket in every weight class. I think it's 18 plus trying to put together some sort of last chance qualifier, anything we can do to make sure that we get everybody to the tournament so that we have our best team. Because listen, that team we're sending over there to Istanbul in a couple of weeks is about to get the ass whipped. There's going to be a lot of new roster spots. Okay, so if you're an up and coming arm wrestler, they ain't gonna want to see those guys come over there and get whacked every time.
It'll be an awesome time.
72 hours. Just give us a couple days. I promise we will be on
it. Hey, question. If PED did not exist, who will be top one?
Who would be the top one? There's no PED. Voodoo, in my opinion, is the Ron Bath would be up there. Ron Bath will be up there.
You always say yourself, baby.
Help me on the train. No. That juice helped me every time. Woo! I turned into a killer. Luke Kent would be a beast. Cobra Rhodes would probably be on the Mount Rushmore. Okay. John Beijing, of course.
But basically it circles back to John Beijing probably. Be the absolute one.
It still does. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yep. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And even Devin, I mean, I know that's probably hard for you young people to believe, but for the majority of his career, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, that he was a relatively clean guy too. And man, listen, quite possibly still is. I have never one time seen any of those guys take steroids. Never.
The only thing we've seen Devin inject himself is those bee stings he was getting stung at in the parking lot the other day.
Yeah, I don't follow. Every time I see Devin's videos, I scroll right by him because I don't want to be a part of the machine that watches that shit and pays him money. Too much. There's too much jealousy, too much history for that player.
Hey, so
although Devin did purchase, pulling for the Ram card here, Tyson Beijing. I will be delivering that to Istanbul for Devin and Ingen.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you know that?
Did you purchase one? Did you purchase one yet?
I'm working on that.
Work on that right now before this show airs.
The podcasts have been kind of slow. I have not been replying to my phone calls. I hit was one yo, the other yo doesn't come back. Do you heard that Alexi and John are officially pulling in October?
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
We kind of discussed it last time, I think, right?
Yeah, Alexi going to get his ass handed to him.
Well, no, right by now. Well, have you seen the training video and stuff like of Alexi pulling?
No, how do you look?
Very fake in my opinion. And
who is he pulling?
David guy, that beast that trains by your buddy Bobkin. You know,
the left-handed freak.
Yes, that guy. So it looked like he was like giving Alexi stuff, and Alexi was shaking and stuff. But I think John gonna whoop him.
Yeah, I mean John's at a peak performance. It's just like it's just going to be remarkable for Rob Bagent Jr. to take the time off and to come back and then jump right in there. Like, I mean, I don't know if any version of there's only maybe a slight couple versions of Alexi that could beat John ever in his life when John's where he is right now. I mean, he's strong. He's stopping Dennis Saplankov at 57 years old at the pad. I mean, come on, bro. Like, this guy's a freak. So, yeah, I think that Alexi's in trouble. I got to imagine that Rob Bagent Jr. is in trouble. I mean, how could you not be? I mean, if Rob spent a year just trouncing around the United States, you know, smacking the shit out of Paul Lynn and Brandon O'Celsor, then we'd be like, okay, go on over there and beat the dude who's arm wrestling the bigger dudes and having good matches with him. I mean, what are we? I think the loss to Chance Shaw is why everyone thinks that maybe. But listen, Rob Bagent does not want to see Chance Shaw if you ain't arm wrestled in 3 years.
Right.
I mean, that is not a good recipe, homie. So, I mean, and then you think about what it would be like if Rob was successful. He's going to like that. He'll light that place up. I mean, his energy in a winning standpoint is electrifying. It can carry an event. But his somber loss.
Because I see what you're saying. Yeah, he'll bring the whole energy, hype everything out.
All I'm saying, if Ingen could have did him a favor and hooked him up with somebody else, and then hit my man later with the beast.
Well, what if RJ, you know, with anybody but starting with Zura? Like, what if RVJ was himself like, I don't want none of the second, third tier guys. I won't go after Zurab much.
Maybe he did, but I mean, then he's the one who messed up. I think he messed up anyway. I think as soon as he sees the wars that Ron Bath and John Brzezinski are having with this guy, that he must start to put that in context that at his very best, I don't think that he's having a war with those guys when they're 225 pounds. Mm-hmm. And he may differ. He may say, dude, you're nuts. I'm 235 and it's on. And I'm like, yeah, but you know it ain't that 235. I mean, we can see that you just chubbier. It ain't like you put on, motherfucker, you had those biceps when you was 190. Well, bam, like they right there, the same bicep. Now, now that it doesn't look as good, don't put a measuring tape around it and tell me it's grown a half inch. No shit. Yeah, exactly. My arms are 20 inches too, and I ain't done a curl, and that's just all the meat from my shoulders sinking down to my biceps.
Little potato.
But you think about RBJ winning, and you realize the excitement it would bring to the promotion. So you kind of shake your head at the matchup, like, man, I don't know, that don't look good to me.
Right, but then it's gonna raise more questions for RBJ too. Like, all right, this guy that haven't done anything like in a year or whatever, and just
right. And then we also remember too when he did come out for his one sneak appearance, and it was the guy that's about to hook the shit out of Paul Lynn, right? And that who he arm wrestled? Jesus. Yeah. Right, and that was a clear. Like, I believe that RBJ right now goes and tries to get that smoke with Shane Alcesor and Paul Lynn, and he loses because of his lack of time, just continuously grinding. You can't just put together a few months. You know what I mean? These guys are on it, right? Every single day. Paul Lynn, Brandon Alcesor are getting after it. Now, there's no evidence that says that the very best of RBJ could do that to Paul Lynn and Alcesor now. I mean, so how in the world are you going to be better? Another step up than where you were when you were the middleweight champ of the world, actually contracted and on a somewhat of a salary, meaning you knew you had 3-4 matches a year. You knew what the payout was for being the champ. Title matches were $5,000. Whatever the deal is, you have to assume that's the best Rob Bagent Jr. Got a couple wins on Todd Hutchings. You know, at that point, Todd moves up to the super heavies. Rob seems to settle in as the middleweight champ of the world. So you take that guy and you have him grind for 3-4 years. Now you're looking at a special dude. If you just take those 3 years off and the rest of them dudes are grinding, I mean, if you don't think that Paul Lynn is on his shit, and I'm talking about eat, sleep, breathe, winning in some form or fashion, also playing the underdog, recognizing the immense battle ahead and attacking it. You can't just come in and train for 3 months and take that from that man. The man is hungry. So to me, Rob's going to be worse than he was. And he's arm wrestling a guy that is better than anybody he's probably arm wrestled when he was the best he was. So to me, that's a terrible thing. And I guess for Rob, an outstanding platform to say, fuck y'all. I'll fucking pick off for 3 years, come back and still be the fucking champ.
Right?
That's what Ingen needs. Okay? That's what the promotion needs. So as much as I'm rooting for him, that seems like a uphill battle, to say the least.
Well, I mean, if RBJ decides to stick to it after the fact, whatever the result of the match, it's like, and he gets to whatever the weight is, you know, everybody else kind of probably going to be screwed, right? Because he's going to have to train harder for that guy. So whatever happens after the fact.
Yeah, I'd say he stays in it and then gets smart enough to be at 200 pounds.
Right. Then everybody's kind of fucked at 200-pound class.
I don't know if they're fucked though. I really don't know if they're fucked. I mean,
Well,
because people are training, man. Like, yeah, Paul and Brandon Celsor, they ain't going nowhere. So, it.
well, yeah. Well, I guess in that regard, it's kind of weird to talk about that because we've yet to have that big money tournament to even see if like Paulin is your still 200-pound guy, right? If he's willing to cut for a good amount of money and be that guy, right? Brandon Cesar might, but he's struggling.
Well,
You know what I mean?
you force Paul in to lose weight because John loses weight.
Right. Okay.
Those 242 guys, Michael Todd, John Brzenk, Ron Bath, all show up at 220. It makes Paul Lynn be like, I'm going to just pull the 200-pound class. You know what I mean? And then eventually there comes a time where Pauline gets so strong that he don't have to lose no more weight. And that, let him hook Sasho and beat him. Now he might say, today's that day. Mark it down. I was today years old when Paul Lynn became the motherfucking pimp of the 220.
Ah, man, I was today years old.
I saw it. I saw Rob Vincent Jr. come from not doing shit to being just a bad, ridiculous dude.
Man, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Well, Travis Beijing, we've been up here for a whole hour. Everybody here seems to disagree or agree with you. There's a comment that says, I'm rooting for RJ. Somebody says, RJ is going to get smoked. Then this guy says, I strongly believe RJ a damn good chance. Sounds like I typed it, but I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to imagine that Rob can take his hand, right?
Yes. So I think
don't want to be in the hook with this guy.
That's got to be the perception, right? Because like Zurab has vulnerability.
Yeah, and you've seen Chance Shaw do it, so you're like, okay, I like it.
And he still has gotten a taken at the tournament like that, like less than a month ago. But he's just so good at doing this. Like he still goes. It's like that Hutchings almost, right? It's like it's not direct side, but he keeps dragging it down with his biceps. It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and the amount of endurance that he has in a bad position. I mean, listen, I saw it. Like even thinking about arm wrestling again, I am not ready for that smoke on that stage. I mean, I could see it, man. Like these guys are willing to die. Like it is on, dude. Like the pressure is real. I wouldn't even imagine that it's even a good idea to arm wrestle right and left-handed at that event.
Oh, yeah. You done looked at Corey Best and Fareed and all of them dudes?
Yeah, I just don't even see how it's not even easy to muster up the fight to do it again.
Right, that second walkout, the second smoke, maybe the first time you have to also not to get the ass whooping the first time too for that second walkout to be exciting.
Yeah, super match play is designed for the dominant winner to lessen his dominance as the rounds go on. It's just like we don't even we would boo the set grip slipper strapper 3 in a row. Right? Knowing we want to see you, even though you're up 2-0, we want to see you in the hook with no strap. Just right? And it's like, the dude's like, no, I can't do that. Like one trip down that lane, all roads lead there. I can't do it. So, and it just seems to me like subconsciously that's what takes place. And that's why before it's over, it's a grinder. You got to bring your cardio to Istanbul. And if you don't bring your cardio, understand it and bring a game plan to disrupt the inevitable of you running out of gas.
Right. Or you all come in just so stupid strong, but it's hard. That's the hardest thing probably to do because you don't know how
I
strong.
don't know if it's I don't know if it's stupid strong, but just super paranoid about the stoppage of the match. Like, just know that anytime early in the match, when you have less than 2 losses, right? And less than 2 losses, less than 2 fouls in that match that you have the 2 losses, right? That means you got one more chance. If you have one more chance, you may not want your elbow to come off the back of the pad. But if you got more chances, you take your elbow off the back of the pad and you bust his hand back, because that's it. There is no reason to compromise before that. Right now, takes a lot of it takes a lot of moxie to foul out 9 times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the truth is, you're one click away sometimes of getting this guy's hand and the match being different, right? Changing the connection. So you got to just be like, I have always been honest with myself. My man, like, what's the plan? Don't tell me that you win the first match and it took 35 seconds. That was not as, you would rather lose in 3 seconds and do your damage from a hit standpoint than that first match lasting 35 in the middle of the table because you didn't get the hit you wanted.
Yeah, I agree. That grinder should be your last option.
And it's not easy to stay in the moment and in the strategy, but it's what's needed if you want to do something incredible, which is what, every one of these guys is, I think, like, somehow Ingens made every one of these super matches like career threatening. You know what I mean? It's like, you may not get invited back unless you qualify.
Right. Exactly.
That's what,
I've been talking to some people too, and I'm like, hey man, are you going to qualifier? Nah, man, I'm gonna do this and this. Oh, okay. Like, so are you invited back? No, I hadn't talked to Engen. I'm like, oh man, you should, because I know people that are still part of it, but invited back because Engen said, oh, you want to go qualify? Go qualify.
Right. That's what I mean. And also, too, imagine Ingen's inbox.
Oh, dude. I mean, fuck. I mean, I don't check it, but I run with him the Instagram for East versus West in general, and that gets like, I don't read them, but I can see the notifications like, hey man, I love arm wrestling. Some brand new guys that just saw it on the internet too, like some fitness influencer, like, I can make this thing big. All of a sudden they get the match too.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, he's definitely has no shortage of participants.
Right, and that's why, like, I see why, like, he takes all the relationship really seriously, because, like, man, on top of whatever he wants to do, there's like maybe 50 people that he will love to see there himself, and another 100 people that he maybe want to see, but they just in his DMs all the time. He doesn't want to offend all 250 of them, you know what I mean? Like, try to manipulate the whole thing. Knowing there's another 1,200 that out there like knocking, and he can't tell all of them no. I mean, he can't, but you know what I mean? Like, it's hard.
No doubt. All right, you the man.
All right, player. I'll see you.
All right, hey, listen, I don't want any of those. I don't want any of my teammates to hear any of that shit I talked about them. So make sure you edit that shit.
We are live.
No. Make sure you cut that live. Go edit all the stuff of me saying those guys could possibly lose. Those are my buddies.
Those are already going to get cut up in 7 different clips. I'm going to cut them in 7 different clips and send them directly to all of those dudes.
I can't have those dudes seeing me talk trash about our own squad.
Russell
no one will watch our podcast if we do.
Russell Tyrone Jones sends you 65 of whatever and says, bye, Travis.
I love it.
Russell Tyrone Jones.
When I'm getting beat up by the Russians, I'm going to yell for my American boys. They'll be like, nah. Fuck
Hey,
that.
I'm still there for you, dog. I'm still there for you. Be good. Be good.
All
Just
right.
stay close to me.
Later.
I play. Thank you for Swedish Crown, Russell Tyrone Jones. Oh, stop recording. Start screen recording. Sending to Pradeep. Oh man, Pradeep gonna come out with a video in 2 hours. Travis Bagent. Fuck no. What? Get me a good viral title for the video for Pradeep. Travis Bagent neglects entire American team. No, 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 no. What did Travis say about American? Nah, man. There's got to be a good title. But yeah, I'm gonna cut up this couple clips for sure. But yeah, thanks everybody. I'll see you everybody in the next episode. Travis Beijing break his silence and this fabricated matches. Oh, it is good, man. That's for the super chat. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, thank you, Adnan Ravish. Is that your real name? Because you're always here. I want to make sure I'm not saying something crazy. Well, thanks everybody. Thank you, Russell. I don't know. Is 65 crowns like is a big amount of money? It disappeared, so it must be like $4 probably or something. Boris, drop that. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next podcast. $10. Oh, thank you for $10, sir. We'll see you the next one. I'll see Travis in I'll see Travis in about 2.5 weeks, and I'm pulling Pablo in 1.5. So, bye everybody. See you the next one.